Oh my gosh.
Fundamentals.
We would be the bad boys of Little League. I'm telling you now. We would beat the tar out of the other team.
I'm just gonna go out and say it. Joey Chestnut has to be on the pub.
Has to be.
Pub more.
Has to be.
Dramatic, man. That was a journey. Episode 173, week 2 of Spooktober, my favorite season of the year. I know Fitz is more of a Christmas guy, but love me some Halloween and Spooktober.
Thanksgiving. I'm more of a Thanksgiving.
Oh, my bad.
I do like Christmas though too.
Yeah, I forgot you're a big Turkey Day guy.
I'm not a big celebrating Christmas like 2 months ahead of time though. I think that's where
Every holiday deserves its day. Yeah.
Yes. And Thanksgiving slept on.
It is slept on. I agree with you. I agree. All right. Blind top 5. This one in honor of the season. Each week this month we'll do a little Spooktober-esque blind top 5. This is trick or treat candy.
Oh
Yeah.
Oh man.
So I know I have my favorite on here. Maybe I have one of your favorites on here. I try to get a little variety, but once again, I just randomly picked 5. Okay. So there's gonna be some left off. Sorry to the haters. All right, it is what it is. All right. First up, no one lays a finger on my Butterfinger.
Oh man, starting out hot. You know, if you include the Butterfinger BBs in this, I know that was always like
we can encompass
that. That was a you know, when the way I'm taking this is like when you were a kid and you had your trick or treat basket at the end of a night trick or treating.
Yeah,
like you had your the ones that you're like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and lock these in. Whether you were like, I'm going to save them for the very end, like the risky move, because someone can steal from your basket if you're not careful. Or do you go ahead and like stash it in another, like in a secret stash, or do you go ahead and eat it? But these are like the ones. And I feel like the Butterfinger is a great one just in that list. But then the BBs especially were like a rarity. To start this off, man.
Bring them back.
Later in the lineup, this might have been number 1. I don't know if I can put it there.
Yeah, it's tough.
This is a very solid one. I'm gonna go number 2. I'm gonna put it number 2. I think this is a very good one.
I don't think you'll be disappointed.
Yeah. This is a very solid one.
All right. Next up, give me a piece of that Kit Kat bar. Kit Kats.
Ooh, another good one. I will say
again, this encompasses all the types.
I will say I'm more of a chocolate guy than I am like a candy guy. I can tell. I would have candy on my list, but and I'm trying to see through that bias because I'm tempted to put this one at 3, but I'm thinking maybe I should put a candy on the podium. Let me put. I can't put it at 5 because there's going to be something worse than Kit Kat. I'll put it at 4. I'll put 4? Kit Kat at 4.
All right.
That's a solid 4.
Yeah. Sour Patch Kids.
See, I never got these in my bucket. I feel like this came after my time. This was like in that new wave.
And we'll say all sour candy. How about that? Because you're right. Like, I feel like we missed out on Sour Patch Kids, but we had like Atomic Warheads, or we had, maybe some Sour Patch straws.
So good.
Yeah.
Oh man,
get that black cherry. Just
mouse water. Those Warheads were sick.
Yeah. So we say all sour candy.
It's not number 1 for me, but let's put it number 3. I think that's a solid podium.
Number 3, my lord. Pick number 3.
Kids. Yeah.
All right. Skittles. Taste the rainbow.
Oh man. Oh, See, now I wish I pushed Kit Kat further down. You know what? I am more of a chocolate guy.
Yeah.
There are chocolate ones that would be on my list, but you're talking about the number one candy. Like in
Yeah.
terms of candy, Skittles is I'll put it my number one
Whoa.
just because it does stand out in terms of all the candies. Man, Skittles. And
Yeah.
especially now, what I've seen, man, in our office, we've got the wild berry Skittles
Oh.
floating around
Yeah.
in our secretary's basket. Man, those things got cleaned out.
Yeah. Those
A
are
little
good.
disappointed. A little disappointed. I wanted some berry Skittles as I was working today, and they were all gone. But
That's
I'll put Skittles number one. I think
that's
those
a
are
good one. Yeah. I love the sour Skittles too. I'm a big sour guy. I love the sour
Yeah,
ones. Those are
yeah.
good. Really good. All right. This is my personal favorite.
Okay.
Reese's.
Damn it. See, that's number one. See, like I need to bump everything. Can I
Just
bump
bump it down.
everything down one?
Yeah.
Because
Where
that
does the
is-
Reese's where does that fall on your list based off how your list shaped
Ah,
up right now?
It's
Is that
probably
4?
tied with
Or is it
it's probably
5?
tied with Butterfinger.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, that peanut butter type thing. See, I thought you were gonna throw in like Almond Joy or something, which I like those, but
Yeah.
a little overrated.
I don't think I don't. It's not in my top. Like I don't think I put Almond Joy in my top 10. Like if I'm being honest, maybe it's
So
a top 25.
move everything down. Give me Reese's number one. I
Okay.
know I'm breaking the rules,
Yeah.
but because it's that clean, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I think everything else, like I'd feel fine with.
Yeah. It's good, dude. Freezing the Reese's. That's a game changer. I love doing
Mm.
that.
Now, my favorite was I had a few favorites. 100 Grand
Oh,
was one.
good.
That was like my number one.
Yeah.
I would put those. I would hide those from my family.
Yeah.
And we always the candy we gave out. We always got 100 Grand. We got like the variety pack. And I
you
remember
might stash some of those. Like, hey,
Oh,
here,
yeah,
get some.
like,
I'm
I
gonna
was
hide
like-
a little bit.
I was like, you know, let's make sure we don't put all of them out in
Yeah.
the Halloween. Surprisingly, Payday was one
Ooh.
that I liked.
yeah.
I always kind of liked the Payday. I liked those.
That's solid.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else kind of missing. I mean, all the classics. Wasn't really a Musketeers guy or the Milky Way Midnights were always
Oh,
interesting.
the dark chocolate. Yeah.
The dark
those were good.
chocolate.
Yeah. Yeah. Those were good.
Yeah.
I like a good 3 Musketeer. That might make my top 10, but I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like
Good-
the ones
Good list.
You know, the ones you try to trade, you know, my sell list was like nerds,
Oh,
you know.
yeah.
I'm
And like, there's
not,
always
like-
kids that want those, and you could
Well,
always.
I knew I could trade. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
you could totally give someone a king's ransom of nerds for like a couple Butterfingers or Reese's,
Exactly.
you know,
exactly.
or like the bottle caps. You remember like all those
Oh,
Wonka
yeah,
candies
yeah.
were not good. None of those were good.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
the fruity, especially vanilla Tootsie Rolls. There's something about them that I still like. I don't know what it is,
Ugh,
but I'm like,
No.
I'll have some.
No.
Yeah. But I'm with you. Good job. Good list.
Yeah.
All right, let's break in college football. Our boys are playing right now. They're playing Coastal. Let's go Nears. Hopefully, it's not even close.
Man, I didn't even know that. What am I
Yeah,
doing?
Tuesday night. We're
I
gonna
was
get a couple
watching
players on.
I was watching
and-
baseball.
what are you?
I'm in baseball mode.
It's only playoff baseball. Which RIP to Devin. We miss you. We love you. But we're gonna talk college football, and then if we got some time, we'll come back to baseball. I haven't got a chance to really watch a whole lot, so I might have to lean on you. But week 6 scores. I mean, these games did not disappoint. Maryland, Ohio State. Maryland covers by 1 point, 17-37. But Ohio State kind of they started off slow, but then they took care of business. The Red River rivalry. That's a Heisman moment for both those guys, Dylan Gabriel, Quinn Ewers. Gabriel comes out on top, 34-30 in Oklahoma. Boomer Sooner redeems himself from that 48-0 shellacking they took last year. LSU, Mizzou had them on the ropes, and then third quarter, fourth quarter, LSU just kind of took over the ball game, and they started running away 49-39. Bama, Texas A&M, we knew it was going to be a good game. We knew it was a grudge match. Saban had it marked down on his calendar since the loss last year. They come back, they win 26-20. Kentucky finally faced tough competition. They got whopped by Georgia, 13-51. Georgia's finally waking up. Maybe they become that number 1 dynasty that we've thought they would be. the big shocker, Notre Dame falls to Louisville, 33-20. I liked the over in this game. I thought that was going to hit. Obviously, it does, but I thought Notre Dame was coming out on top. And Louisville showed up, especially after that state game. They really revamped their offense, and damn, they look good. And then Marshall, almost ranked as a Sun Belt team, going in undefeated. They lose 41-48 to NC State off some last-second 2-minute offense, which is beautiful. Shout out to our boy Brennan, NC State's kicker. Hopefully continues good times roll, but I hate to see a Sun Belt team not make it. Looking at this list, Fitz, is there anything that surprised you here?
Nothing too surprising. I do shout out to that Oklahoma Texas game. I did catch the end of that one. Had a feel of like I don't know how the conference championships are going to work out, but that had the feel of a conference championship game.
Yeah.
And like even though Texas got the loss, you feel like if that can be their only loss, could that be a rematch that then the winner goes on to a playoff? I know there's a lot of season left, but it had that feel as like one of these teams could be a playoff team.
I totally agree with you.
Yeah, so it was just a great game, and to have it come down to, now one of you has a loss. I would hate to see like someone's season's ruined because of that in a game that is high stakes, and you'd want to see one of those teams or both of those teams have a chance at it again.
Yeah, dude, 100%. I totally agree, and I think we will see a rematch of these two teams if they win out, which I think both are very capable of doing.
That's the craziness of college football, though, which
I
cannot handle. I cannot handle.
It is, but the Big 12 for me. I know. I love it. We're on opposite sides of the war here. Looking ahead at this week's games, I think there's huge implications on these games. Maybe not for the long term of the season, but for the Heisman watch, which I don't know what happened on the screen there. But to me, I think these games are really going to light it up. You've got USC, Notre Dame, Caleb Williams versus Sam Hartman. I think that's going to be a Heisman battle. If one of these guys comes out and they just dog the other team, they perform, maybe they have that Heisman moment, they move up the rankings. And we'll go over the Heisman odds here in a second. NC State, Duke, obviously triangle rivalry here. Is Duke the real deal? They seem like it. We'll see. Cuse, Florida State. Cuse is 4-1. Florida State's undefeated. Maybe this is the game that catches up to them. Texas A&M, number 19, Tennessee. We'll see how good Tennessee can be at home. Number 8, Oregon. Number 7, Washington. These are the top two candidates for the Heisman. Bo Nix and Pendex from Washington, both quarterbacks. I think whoever wins this boosts their odds to win the Heisman pretty easy. Number 25, Miami, which is they're coming off that horrible clock management game. I don't know if you saw that, Fitz, but 1 minute to go, and they decided to run the ball, strip fumble, and then terrible. But they placed number 12 UNC, which UNC, they might have a chance. If they win the ACC, they win out, which we got a lot of ball to play. But if they do that, they're in the playoffs, and we're talking like Chapel Hill. And then number 18, UCLA, number 15, Oregon State. These are some big games, and I'm here for it for the Heisman watch, and then also teams like Oregon, Washington, UNC continue to win. They're inching that much closer to those playoffs, which is awesome.
Yeah, I don't have much to contribute here. I'm boycotting college football this year.
You're killing me.
Well, they're killing me with the conferences. I can't handle it.
Yeah,
and don't even get me started on these records. And we're gonna get the football, like real football, NFL.
Yeah,
and this is an NFL year where I think there are clear like 4 front runners in the NFL, maybe 5, maybe 5.5. But it's like if you asked me the top 4 teams, who's going to be in the conference championships, and then what their records are going to be, they might have 2 or 3 losses in there, but they're still going to be the best teams. Yeah. Where I don't understand college football, 1 loss on your resume is so detrimental. And then down 2, down 3, you lose 3 games, you're firing your coach. I just cannot understand. It's not football to me. It doesn't add up. Like watching that Texas Oklahoma game, I'm telling you right now, someone's gonna blow their wad. Someone's gonna lose one game. It's gonna be like TCU or some shit. And that rematch is not gonna mean anything.
But
Even though it was one of the best games of the year.
But shouldn't you have to handle your business against the children of the poor, the Baylors, the Texas Techs, right? You should be able to handle your business. Like that's like Kansas City goes into Chicago and they lose to Chicago. We're like, Chiefs are dead. They're done, right? People are ready to write them off. To me, it's the same thing. It's just the NFL has a longer schedule, so you have more resume for it, where you can afford to lose 2, 3, 4 games and have a chance. I get your point, but to me, I think it's the same thing, but it's condensed.
It's
to
maddening. So I don't know. I might watch like the end of a couple of those games, but I have a hard time with it.
Get YouTube TV, get the 4 screen.
They're not going to change anything unless we all band together.
Heisman odds.
Boycott.
Heisman odds. Michael Penix Jr., quarterback from Washington, he leads it by plus 200. He is the real deal. He seems like last year he was coming into his own. This year, they're winning big games. He's producing. It's awesome to see. Caleb Williams right behind him at plus 225, the returning Heisman winner. Bo Nix plus 600. People are really pushing for him. Dude, I feel like he's been in college for so long. He was at Auburn and now Oregon.
He's one of those COVID super seniors.
Those COVID guys. Exactly. He was supposed to be like the next Cam Newton, I feel like, in Auburn. But, oh well. Plus 600, I think whoever wins those games, I think they flip-flop here. 1 goes to 3, 3 goes to 1, whatever it might be. Dylan Gabriel, who we talked about, plus 1,200. He had that Heisman moment in the Red River rivalry, the Red River shootout. I think if they continue to do well, he's got a real case. He's got some real leverage to say, hey, I deserve the Heisman. Jordan Travis from Florida State. He's athletic. It's there. I just don't see it on film quite yet. Like there's glimpses of it, but it's not fully developed. Drake May, quarterback UNC, same boat. JJ McCarthy from Michigan. I feel like he's getting slipped on for the Heisman. He's at plus 2,000. If Michigan wins out, they go out and beat Ohio State for the 3rd straight year. They make the playoffs. There's no better resume for this cat. I think he's got a real shot at it. And his numbers, maybe he doesn't lead the nation in the top 2 or 3 categories, but he's in the top 10 for everything. He's got a real chance at this thing. And then Sam Hartman, quarterback from Notre Dame, plus 5,000. His odds really took a dive after that Louisville loss. But you still got to throw him in there a little bit. The only non-quarterback on the list is Bauer, the tight end from Georgia. He's at plus 9,000. Which I'm torn on the Heisman. Like, should you just make it a quarterback list at this point? Like it's tough to say. Or running back every once in a while. But to me, it's a quarterback has the advantage on this thing every time.
I was wondering in the case of Caleb Williams, how many, if anyone's ever won 2 Heismans, and I looked it up. Only Archie Griffin.
Yeah, only guy.
Don't even know what year that is.
Did he win them back to back or no?
He won the award twice. It doesn't really say.
I'm gonna
doesn't
look it
say
up
when those are. Yeah.
While I'm looking this up, who's your favorite? I know you don't watch a lot of college ball, but looking at those names, I know you've seen those names. I know you've seen glimpses of those games.
The only thing I can evaluate, I don't buy this Heisman stock either. It's more I watch kind of thinking who's going to play well at the next level.
Yeah.
And Heisman doesn't always translate is that way.
Caleb
Williams is that guy. Like he's the guy that's going to be playing on Sundays. Some of those other guys, like I don't see it with Bo Nix. I don't see it with Drake May. I don't really know Florida State QB. I haven't seen him play.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying in terms of who looks like they could do it, Caleb Williams. But
that's a good call. Archie Griffin 74-75, so he did win it back to back, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
I'm with you. Like Caleb, even Michael Penix, I look at him and I'm like, okay, he's not ready to be a day 1 starter. Caleb Williams, potentially, we see it with CJ Stroud, Bryce Young. He could be thrown to the Wolves there, and I think he could come out surviving it. Bo Nix, no, even though he's 40 years old, I feel like. Dylan Gabriel, no. The only other guy, JJ McCarthy and Sam Hartman, I feel like they've got a chance, but they're going to have to sit the bench. They're going to have to put a Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers game and like learn against a really good veteran and just absorb, be a sponge. But only 3 of those 8.
But again, I mean, it's just I still can't get over this year that the Panthers selected Bryce Young over CJ Stroud. I
Dude.
don't
think they're
know
shooting
how
themselves?
that happened. I don't know how that happens though. Is like, yeah, if you're gonna ask me who's gonna win the Heisman, Bryce Young would have had Stroud's number for college.
Yeah.
Like easily. But who has just kind of immersed into the game? CJ Stroud just looks poised. And so that's where I don't know. My head, I'm more of an NFL mind when I watch college.
That's a good
And like that is so weird. That's such a weird miss for me. I'm like, like if you could like see in the future and watch how these quarterbacks play through just 2 games or 3 games in the NFL, Stroud was clearly the number 1 pick. Like he would have been the number 1 pick. But
so, and I remember sitting on my soapbox saying this in April, but Bryce Young was getting all the hype because of who he played for, Bama, because he won a Natty, and because he had the Heisman. And so people were like, yo, he's got to be clear number 1. And to me, there's so many red flags. He's too little. His arm just isn't quite there. The Bama offense does never translate to the NFL. It's not a pro-style offense that we see.
Yeah. Well, it's so much easier in college. Your guy's open by a mile versus
when you have Devontae Smith running, fuck yeah. Like it's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Versus and if you're at Bama, you've actually got you got a better offensive line than anybody.
My Bengals.
It's just a whole different advantage. So
it's like, to me, it's just mind numbing that people didn't realize that. And I'm glad you're finally like, you're there with me. You're like, yo, this is people missed.
I just can't believe we all missed it. Like I didn't think it, but I'm now looking at it. It's like, how did we miss? Like, that's just what I didn't hear anything about this guy.
Rewind the tapes to April.
And
CJ Stroud was my guy. Anthony Richardson, number 2, which hey, it turns out. Maybe I am the Gruden. Maybe without
you're
his
in
post.
Hackey's QB camp.
Yeah. Go ahead. Give me the whiteboard. All right. Shout out Matthew Pippin. He says Hershey's cookies and cream. That's a slept on one. You don't like it? I loved it.
Nah.
No?
No. They've even got the Hershey. They got the cookies and cream Hershey Kisses now. These things are nasty.
Dude. I remember as a kid, I used to beg in the grocery store, like, Mom, Dad, give me that. I want one. Oh, I loved him. Loved him. And then Claudia says she loves the setup, Evan.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Just we got our snowboards in the background. Yeah, I like it. Looks good. Looks real good. All right, NFL talk. The stuff that we came here for. Fitz, you missed out on NFL talk last week. And I don't have the graphic pulled up. I deleted it. Dead teams. Do you have any NFL teams that are just dead?
Let me see. I gotta look at the standings.
I'll give you
because it's pretty early. It's pretty early.
It is early. There's some dead teams though.
Yeah, give me some of yours.
So obviously Chicago. I feel like they're dead. Yeah, they had a spark of life.
I told people that team was dead in July.
Preseason. Yeah. Broncos dead.
Yeah, that was
Giants dead.
Yeah.
Panthers dead. Jets.
I don't know. Panthers. I wouldn't call Panthers dead. Giants. Saquon's coming back from ankle, but they're still looking pretty rough.
This is the same story every year.
I know.
Yeah. Jets dead. No, there's no way Rodgers comes back.
Oh no, Jets are not dead,
dude. I think they're dead.
No. That's a dangerous team. QB away. That's the sad thing. They're a QB away.
They don't have him.
Life support. They're not quite dead. They're not even dying. They're just a QB away.
I strongly disagree with you, but I have respect for.
I think dead is like you got to reevaluate everything. Like you are
To me,
out of sorts.
I don't know. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I hear that you got to reevaluate everything. This season, though, I think they're dead because they're quarterback away. They put all their chips in Rodgers. They didn't get a solid backup, and this is no shot.
Well,
at
like
Wilson. I
what
like the
happens
middle
if
finger. I
Wilson
like
gets
Wilson.
hurt and they're on QB3 and he just like thrives? Like he goes Mike White.
What
I
is this,
d-
Brock
like I mean,
Purdy?
yeah, I mean
Like,
that's the
yeah,
thing though.
yeah,
That's
Mike
the
White.
thing
Yeah,
is
big Mike White.
they have the pieces around. Like
I don't believe it.
QB away. That's not dead. It's not quite dead.
I don't know. Life support. I got the Raiders, which they're coming off a huge Monday night win, which I know you don't want to talk about with the Packers, but to me, up until Monday night, last night, thought they're on life support. Patriots, I feel like I can officially move them to dead now.
Yeah.
Things are not
Yeah.
good in New England. Mac
It's
Jones,
not working
you
out.
sent the gif of the Bombay, yeah.
Gordon Gambay, you were a never
and
was.
then
What is it? You're not even a
Cincy.
has been. You're a never was.
You're not even has been. You never was. Yeah. And then I had my Bengals on
They're
there.
not dead.
But I feel like we're on life support. But I feel like we're getting off the ventilator. Like things are coming back. Jamar Chase going for 3 tutties. That helped kind of spark us. So that was my list from last week. Which anybody to add to the dead or life support list for you? I know you want to take the Jets off and maybe the Giants, but we heard the same story every year.
Panthers aren't dead. I think the Panthers have shown flashes, especially defensively. They've just been. That's a tough franchise there. Like
it's a dead franchise. I'm just kidding.
Man, they miss they need Luke Kuechly as a defensive coordinator. I think that's what they need to do. They had their coach Steve Wilkes and they let him go, and they went with.
As soon as they did that,
yeah, I mean they just
over.
make these boneheaded decisions like that. So, but I think
Frank
they've
Wright.
got. Yeah, I don't know. I always have hope in the Panthers. I think it's for my mom and dad because they got to watch every game. But my mom would probably say they're dead, so I guess they are dead. She's been going to her gym class during the game. She can't even watch.
Oh, sickening!
Just the first half, then she comes back. She just can't handle watching them lose, and then she's like, "I just wasted another Sunday."
Yeah,
so
that reminds me of
something proactive.
It reminds me of Billingsley, where his dad's like, "The sick stomach in my feeling. That's what I get every time I watch you play football, son." I can just see Dana sitting on the couch. Bryce Young, that sick feeling.
They could add Stroud. That's the sad thing.
Yeah.
Vikings. That might be a close to. I might call them dead.
Yeah.
I was calling them dead back in August. That was
you've been calling it. Yeah. Which
but here's the problem. In Minnesota, they're going to be 2-6 at the halfway point, and then they're going to win 4 in a row, and everyone's going to be like, "Oh." Everyone's like, "Oh, Minnesota, they're back to 500," but then they're gonna. It's just the way their schedule works out.
Yeah, they do have a fluffy middle schedule.
They have a pretty easy middle part where they'll win a bunch, and everyone's gonna get excited, especially in these parts. Yeah, and I'm just just wait for the collapse. This is just the eye of the storm.
Yeah.
Well,
JJ going out on IR for at least 4 weeks with a hamstring injury, and it could be longer. Hamstrings are one of those, I wish Tim was here, but in my personal experience coaching and dealing with hamstring injuries, it could be 4 weeks, it could be 8 weeks. You never know. So, I like that pick. Put Vikings at least on life.
Yeah, but knowing that they're gonna win 4 in a row.
Yeah,
and everyone's gonna get excited, and then they're gonna blow it.
And it's weird. Last year when they were on that run, it seemed like every lucky thing has gone their way. This year, the luck it's flipped, and now every unlucky thing has gone against them. It's just weird to see because every fumble bounced their way last year. Now it's bouncing to.
And that's the thing. You cannot turnovers are killing them. I mean, that's really the name of the game.
Yes,
and they played like that last year. They played sloppy and found ways to win. So I think that's a part of it. And again, I said this early in the season, we live in fantasy land. It's if you're talking about which team has the best fantasy players, it's probably the Vikings. Like, if you just had to pick like a litter of players from one team, probably take Minnesota and you'd be really
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Them are the Dolphins.
But
Yeah.
in the Vikings case,
Yeah.
that doesn't translate
Yeah.
to actually being a good football team. Like they're mediocre. They're a mediocre team. But then this year, based on their schedule, they're supposed to lose a lot of close games. I think that's just where they're at. They're good, but they're going to lose a lot of these games.
Yeah. I think that's fair. Yeah. All right. Any overreaction for you for this week?
That there are 4 really good teams that are going to be in the conference championships. And then there's about, 50 to 60% of the league mediocre. And then we just named all the dead teams. I mean, basically, like, and I don't feel like that. There's years I'm like, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Like, okay, the Cardinals are 6-0, but they're gonna collapse. Like, I think there are
Right.
yes, I think
That
there are.
San Fran
I think
team,
San
though?
Fran and Philly and Kansas
Yeah.
City and
Yeah.
Miami are your 4 teams, and
Yep.
you
Yep.
can make no.
Even
I
though Miami
think
got
they're.
dogged by
I
Buffalo.
still think they're good. Buffalo got dogged by the Jags. I think that's a no. I think
Man.
Miami's.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's not Buffalo, but I think it's Miami.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
half
Okay.
team would be Detroit, as I could see Detroit spoiling Philly's
Yeah.
party. But it
Rev
feels
up
like
those
it's the
engines.
Niners year. Feels like it's the Niners. That's probably my overreaction.
Dude.
I haven't felt like this
Yeah.
early in a season that I could just name. I don't see any, like, I know that injuries can happen and all sorts of stuff, but they're just rolling. Those teams are just rolling over everybody, And maybe that's after watching the Dallas game. He's like you were excited. Okay, San Francisco true test against the Cowboys defense. And like you're expecting the Cowboys to lose, but it should probably be interesting. And Niners they just took names and yeah.
Yeah.
I mean that it was
Yeah.
like,
You see
wow.
George.
That's just I don't know. It
You see
had
George
that
Kittle.
feeling of like, wow, that's a statement win. This team's serious. And and I hate to get ahead. This is definitely an overreaction. But like, watching all these Super Bowl documentaries in the off season and like just seeing these groups is like I'm just looking at this Niners team and I'm like Trent Williams, Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, like Bosa. They're gonna have a ring. Like this is storybook. And even the way that last season went where they didn't have a quarterback and they were still winning games and getting hot and getting on a run. And then they lose their quarterback in the NFC Championship where they don't have a QB. Like they ran out of QBs and at the game before the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And then they come into this next year. Purdy's looked even better. They just look collectively like they are on a mission. It just feels storybook.
Yeah.
Like it's their year.
Let
We'll see how many wins they can rack up. I mean, it feels like one of the most dominant teams we've seen.
Yeah. Let me come in here. I got your 5-minute run off of San Fran. I've got to tag in here.
Yeah.
George Kittle with the lifting up the shirt. This is fuck Dallas, fuck the Cowboys. Here for it. Love that. Absolute vintage. I love it. The second thing is, let me ask you this. Shout out to Kelsey on Dominique Moore, the boy. He he said he was arguing with a San Fran fan that they were arguing Brock Purdy is better than Lamar Jackson. And Dom was saying, hey, no, San Fran just has more weapons. The run game's on there. The O-line's better. The targets, the wide receivers, they're all taking care of business. Where Devin, he restrained, his frustration of like the wide receivers just suck. The wide receiver core just let out Baltimore. He called it the worst day in his sports fandom, which me and Tim can say, hey, buddy, It gets a lot worse than that. But
Mm.
would you take Brock Purdy over Lamar Jackson right now? I don't think so.
Probably not. But
Yeah.
I mean, again, this is where these Super Bowl documentaries are flashing before my eyes. Because, like, if you had told me Ben Roethlisberger on the '05 Steelers was better than, I don't know, Drew Brees
Right.
or Philip Rivers or like it'd be like, oh no, you're out of your mind. But like collectively, like there is some kind of recipe of like having your best players not be your quarterback and having a young
Yeah.
guy that's kind of unproven. Like the Seahawks did this with Russell Wilson. The Steelers did it
Mhm.
with Roethlisberger. Like there's a lot of teams that have kind of had that, and then they become. The case of Roethlisberger is you get to compare the '05 Steelers to the '09 Steelers, and like Roethlisberger was vastly better in 2009. There were more offensive weapons in
Yeah.
Pittsburgh.
Well, all right. So here's the thing which you're talking about. 2006 Super Bowl champions, Steelers. You've got to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. He's the 16th rate quarterback on that list. Guys like J.P. Lossman, John Kitna, Rex Grossman, Mark Bolger are ahead of this guy. Yeah. So, wild.
Yeah,
Matt
and
Hasselbeck.
I just think, but even then, the Steelers had to believe is like that was a Super Bowl team, and they clearly had like Hall of Famers and talent on that team. They just had to rally around their guy. So I don't know. All these comparisons are like, it doesn't really matter. Brock's making the throws. He's making the plays.
Yeah.
And yeah, he does have weapons around him. I think there is a part of it that is opportunity in San Fran.
Mm-hmm.
Like he would not have nearly this early success in another team, but he would have some form of success.
Right.
I think that he is doing the right things. He's clearly working hard. He's been Mr. Irrelevant, and he's he's clearly better than Trey Lance,
dude. That
who
quarterback
was a
draft class,
top, so
yeah,
he's got a chip on his shoulder, and it's exciting to see. Like, I do think he could be a guy that we're talking about in 15 years that's still playing in the league.
Totally
and it's
agree.
like Brock Purdy's resume. He's got 2 Super Bowls and X amount of playoff wins and whatever.
Give him a gold jacket. Yeah.
I mean, he feels like he's that kind of player.
I like
he
it.
Definitely could be.
Good. I like it. Good analytics. I like it. Let's move into picks here. Thursday night action. Division rivals. Chiefs, Broncos. Chiefs are playing host. They're 10.5-point favorite. Over and at 49. I said Broncos are dead. I don't think you disagreed with me. Can we just say Chiefs move on here? Do they cover the spread of 10.5? To me, I take it.
Yeah, it's Chiefs.
Yeah.
Although Kelsey getting up a little gimpy was kind of
weird. A little worrisome. Maybe Taylor can get in there and massage that ankle, that foot down there, and
Yeah. It's just funny. I think any of the teams that I thought could give the Chiefs a problem, man, something about Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. They're just having their way.
Maybe you just talked me out of taking the Chiefs minus 10.5 here, because you're right. The teams I'm like, that'll be a close game. It's not. But the teams I'm like, the Chiefs are going to dog walk them. It seems like they let them stick around. Like they're playing to their level a little bit, which is a weird thing. You might be on something there, Fitz. Maybe
Chiefs
are
just taking care of business.
Yeah.
It's a different type of when you've won 2 Super Bowls. It's kind of how the Niners were
in the
90s. The 80s. It's like their first 2 they were dominant, and then I think they kind of hit a speed. It was like, what's happened to the Niners? Or not even that. It was more just like they just know how to win. They know how to play their best ball in the fourth quarter.
Just don't waste energy. Don't show too much.
Yeah.
Just go. Yeah.
And then just go win another ship. So
yeah, I agree. All right. Next action. Cincinnati playing host to Seattle. Over and at 46. My Bengals are 2.5-point favorites. I love the spread because that's where we were against Arizona. What do you say?
Yeah, Seahawks are interesting. They're not a dead team, as we were going through earlier. They're
Maybe
very
Life
hit or
Alert.
miss.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Geno Smith is he's
He's a
great
wild card.
he's a great Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. You don't know who's gonna show up.
Yeah.
I hate to say this to you, I like the Seahawks in this one.
Let's go. Let's go. Come on.
I
Take
would
the Seahawks.
probably
Take the
I'd
Hawks.
probably pick them as an upset.
All right. I love this. I love this because you're taking the Hawks. We're split here. No rush decision. Give me Bengals. Jamar Chase is back, baby. Shout out to Pub Sports Talk Etsy store. You can get an always effing open Jamar Chase hitting the gritty shirt now. So go ahead and get yours. By the way, our villain shirts for Detroit have been like we're selling 5-10 shirts like every 3 days. It's been awesome. Shout out to Detroit fans. They have been killing the Etsy store right now. So shout out to you guys. Going to send a little Lorenzo to college. Shout out to you. Ravens at Titans. Over-under at 40. Baltimore 3.5-point favorite. Heath Andrews says this Ravens team has got to step the fuck up. Maybe this is the game. Coach Rabes. This is a rivalry. Ravens and Titans don't like each other.
Yeah. Man, that Ravens Steelers game was it just felt like classic Ravens Steelers. You never know what you're gonna get. And the scores are always like, 10-11.
Yeah.
Or
Baltimore did everything they could not to win. Like it just
Mhm.
Baltimore should have won that game. Hands
Yeah.
down. It was just the weirdest game. It reminded me of at playing Wyoming. It was like we should have won that game, but like Pittsburgh just knows how to stay in it. TJ Watt knows how to finally like just get in there, make a play. Like this is wild. You're right. Those AFC North matchups, especially Ravens Steelers, it's just you never bet on it ever.
Yeah. Selfishly, I want the Titans to lose a lot of games this year.
Yeah.
Just because I want them to get a quarterback. I think they don't need the 22nd pick of the draft. They need like a top pick, or somehow finagle a way to trade up. So I kind of want them to lose a lot of games, and because they've got their coach, they got Vrabel. They just need some other pieces there. I don't know. I could definitely see Tennessee winning. This is an emotional pick. I'm gonna pick Baltimore.
Ooh.
That's an
Dude,
emotional pick. So
no, I like it. Like I love that pick. My gut tells me Baltimore. But
it's that's a hard win.
It's tough, man.
That's a tough win.
If I look at it on paper, Baltimore should win this game. Without a doubt. But there's something.
But Vrabel, it's exactly what you're talking about with Baltimore is they'll find every way to lose it.
Yeah.
Vrabel will find every way to make it competitive. Like he'll find every way to like, we suck, but we're gonna play like we're a damn playoff team.
And I don't think there's a better coach out there to like motivate and get after and get in, like just poke the fucking bear of his players than Mike Vrabes. So I'm gonna take Tennessee because this is a rivalry game. They've dog walked my Bengals, and that was a rivalry game to them. I didn't realize it was a rivalry to Cincinnati, but I think Vrabes is the X factor here. He motivates the boys. They get it done. Commanders, Falcons, over at 42. Atlanta, 2.5-point favorite playing at home in the Mercedes-Benz Dome. The cheapest place to watch a football game, which that blows my mind. Anyways.
Yeah, I'd actually take Atlanta, which is crazy. Desmond Ridder, this is going to be a very short-lived window for Atlanta lore, but he's making the magic happen. I'm trying to think like the equivalent. I guess like the NFC South equivalent would be like when Matt Moore had his day in Carolina.
Minshew Mania.
Maybe Minshew Mania. Yeah, this is one of those. It's like, what is going on with Desmond Ridder? He's got his opportunity, but it's not going to be very long, but he's playing well. So
yeah, I think you're onto something. I'm taking Atlanta. I think Ridder's hot, and you ride Ridder until he cools down here. Give me Atlanta to win. Coup with the big point, and that was after them traveling from London. So I feel like they get done. Same how Washington. I feel like there's pieces there. It's just the puzzle's not aligning yet. It's there, and I don't know if Ron Rivera is going to be there to see it. Maybe this is enemy's job to take over as head coach. Who knows? But Washington fans, don't feel so bad. I feel like the hope is there. There's a light for you. All right. Bears, Vikings, two teams that we think dead. They stink.
Mm.
What is going on? Over at 46, Chicago 2.5-point favorite at home.
Minnesota should win this one.
They should.
Yeah. No, they should. Even without Jefferson.
Yeah.
I think they'll be fine.
Without JJ, Minnesota's got to find themselves. This goes out to you, Big Cat. I'm taking Chicago. Give me the deep dish. Give me the
No.
Bears. Give me Fields. I think they get this thing done and they win 2 in a row. And then Chicago fans are like, whoa, are we back? Don't look too far ahead. But I think Chicago finds a way to get this done. Monsters of Midway. Let's go. All right. RIP to Dick Butkus, by the way. What a legend. What a legend.
Yeah.
Which I
Those
think that also
Bears.
helped their win. Yeah. Niners, Browns. Over us at 39. San Fran, 5-point favorite. Bettors, take the over here right away. 39 points. That's a joke. Take the over.
You know, I haven't watched the Browns this year, like at all. I don't think I've seen them, minus the Nick Chubb game on the prime time. I feel like that was a game we saw, but you know, they're trying to figure it out without Chubb. But that next, I'm trying to think who the running back is. Who stepped up for them in that game? What's his name?
I'm going blank. I'll look it up. You keep going. I'm gonna look it up.
Anyway, I mean, I haven't seen them play much, but knowing that even they could fill in that hole without Chubb, like that guy seems to be running hard. So I think they can still
Ford.
keep.
Duh.
Yeah, Jerome.
Yeah. Jerome Ford. And then
Jerome
Kareem Hunt's
Ford.
he's the backup.
That's right. So, yeah, it's interesting. I'd be curious to see how the Browns do against my Super Bowl favorites. But I'm gonna take the Niners. I think they keep it going.
I'm taking the Niners. -5, -6, -7, -10. I don't care. Give me San Fran to cover here. Give me the over here too. 39 points. That's a joke. I feel like San Fran can score 39 by themselves. And I think Deshaun Watson, Jerome Ford, I think they find the end zone at least once or twice. Give me the Niners. Give me the over.
Could be a defensive struggle.
Don't tell me that.
don't
I've
know.
already put in my parlay for this
I don't
week.
know.
Don't tell me that. Panthers, Fins, over at 48. Miami, 13.5-point favorite.
Oh,
the biggest
gosh.
spread here. I told you, Panthers are dead.
Well, maybe the Panthers. It'd be interesting to see if the Panthers keep losing and if they can somehow get Caleb Williams and dump off Bryce Young to somebody. Yeah, it's Fins. I'm not touching the points though. I don't. Panthers defense is solid. They're a QB away, unfortunately, and probably a running back, and probably a solid tight end, and an offensive line,
And defensive line and linebacker.
and probably a good kicker.
Yeah. Give me Miami. They don't hang 70 here, but they cover that over by themselves. Give me Miami to win. This game, I am here for it. Colts versus Jags, over at 46.5. Jacksonville, 4-point favorite. Calvin Ridley he took that time off suspension, and he's looking damn good. Anthony Richardson, 3rd-degree AC joint separation, so he's going to be out for a little bit. And Shoemania, it's back. It's alive, and he's coming back to the Volcount.
Yeah.
Return.
Very interesting. I'm gonna take Jags. It's tough. It's a very interesting game. It's probably one that we all tune into. They'll like send us over to it. We're like, we're gonna send you over to CBS for the overtime between Colts and Jags.
Yeah.
So it should be a good one. Probably gotta flip a coin for it. I'll just take the Jags.
I don't hate it. I mean, Trevor Lawrence, they're looking good. You know, they like the past couple weeks they had seasons they had 2 games that look like that should be the season. Like I feel like they're turning it around for him. I think Doug Peterson and those guys. I feel like it's vibing for him right now. I'm trying to
This is one of
remember.
those. This is one of those games. I'm calling it like Etienne or somebody
Yeah,
is gonna have some crazy play like late, and they're like, "How the hell did he do that?
right.
How did he catch that?" It's just gonna be like one of those games. Like one play is gonna decide who wins this one.
Yeah. I'm doing my math real quick. 7 in a row, Jacksonville has beat Indy at home. 7 in a row. The streak stops here. Give me
Yeah.
the Colts. I think Jacksonville is coming back from the England trip. They spent 2 weeks up there. Now they got to adjust back over here. Yeah, they have a little more time, but I think it still takes an adjustment. Minshew Mania hits his homecoming. Give me Colts. That's my dog of the week. All right. Titans, Texans, over at 41.5. New Orleans, 1.5 point favorite. Texans seem like they're a new team. They got some new life to them.
Yeah, and I gave CJ Stroud my shout out. I'll take
Yeah.
Stroud.
Go.
I'm really liking this Texans team, which is just so surprising, that I thought they were in trouble just coming into this year, but man, there's something about being able to just rally around the young guys, Nico Collins, CJ Stroud,
Mm-hmm.
Damian Pierce. Yeah, fun team. Just curious to see what Houston can do. Feel like this could even be the team that like rebrands Houston. Like in a couple years, they're like, all right, we're gonna change the logo. We're gonna change the uniform. We're gonna
Yeah.
like just totally rebrand. This is a new era of Texans football. Yeah, I think this is a game that kind of gets them on that track. So I'll take
Coach,
Texans.
I love it. I love it. This is my second dog of the week. Coach Ryans has these guys ready to go. Yeah, they're coming off the loss to Atlanta, but if you look at that game, that's another Ravens. They should have won that, but they found every reason not to win it. And I feel like they regroup, they rebrand here. I think they blow
Falcons
out
are
the
kind
Saints.
of veteran. They're veteran savvy on that defense.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing that you gotta realize is Stroud is playing against guys that are just savvy and like they've been playing this league forever.
Now
So they
look,
know all the tricks. And that's just an interesting matchup,
now
especially for a rookie quarterback.
to be devil's advocate for you, the Saints are veteran. They got the Honey Badger in the secondary.
They
They got
do.
Cam Jordan.
They do.
Like it's
But
I
I mean, that's
like the
the thing is
Texans
what
here.
a
Give me
field
the
goal
Chiefs.
decided last week.
Exactly.
This could be another game where a field goal decides it, but maybe it's Kai Fairbairn.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Give me Houston. I'm with you. We're together. Houston.
Yeah.
All right.
Is it Fairbairn or
Patriots.
Fairbairn? What is his name?
Fairbairn.
Fairbairn?
Fairbairn, I think.
He's my kicker in fantasy, so I should know this.
Pats Raiders over at 42. Las Vegas 3-point favorite.
Fairbairn.
McDaniels takes on his old mentor, Coach Belichick. Now, to me, this is the Bombay and Coach Riley.
Oh man,
Yeah.
the Mighty Ducks matchup.
Yeah, but now Bombay is saying, "You're never was been," except you can't Belichick.
So who's Max Crosby if he's
He's one of the Bash brothers.
Mighty Ducks?
He's one of the Bash brothers.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who Keenan Thompson is. I guess that's the second one.
Yeah. Jimmy G is the Banks, the guy that came over from the Patriots,
Yeah.
I'm here for it. I'm
Who's
gonna write this
the guy?
article.
What's the guy? Fulton? Is that the guy's name?
Yeah. Fulton is Crosby.
Who's
He's
Fulton?
the Bash brother.
That's Crosby.
Yeah,
Crosby's Fulton.
Chandler Jones would be the other Bash brother, but CTE. So.
Oh man, that's great. Flying V. That'd be crazy. A little flying.
Yeah, they line up
V.
the flying V. Josh Jacobs, fucking wedge.
Man, yeah. I think the Raiders. Yeah.
Yes.
I do think they can do it.
Yeah. The dark side.
Yeah, Crosby, sneaky defensive player of the year candidate.
Dude, he's so good.
Very good.
And I've been a huge fan of Max Crosby. I just like the way he plays, his engine. He never stops. And like people call him maybe a little dirty. he embraces the Raiders mentality, and he has a chip on his shoulder, and he knows like, hey, I've got to do everything I can for my team to win. Like I love Max Crosby. I love everything he brings to it. So
Yeah.
give me the Raiders here. Yeah.
He reminds me a little bit. It's almost what Jared Allen was.
Yes. Yeah.
Minnesota for a while. I mean, there's so many guys that are game wreckers, but like what I remember about Jared Allen, having to face him twice a year, just like had this engine that
Yeah.
it's like he's just coming every time and just played with this fire that, and I
Yes.
don't know if that comes from being a late draft pick, like you've been overlooked.
Yeah. He went to
So
Eastern Michigan. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, yeah. So it's like you kind of have that chip on your shoulder to kind of prove something, and it's just a recipe for a scary man on the defensive side.
Dude,
Like I
Max
just
Max
see
Crosby,
Max
come on the pod.
Crosby.
We
It's
need you,
like,
man.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was very impressed. It sucked losing to them, but man, he was just there every play. You
Dude,
know?
I think it was first quarter, second quarter. You guys were running zone away from him, and you bring your tight end to kick him out. He dips underneath and just blows it up for 4 yards loss. And I said, yeah, that's fucking Max Crosby. Like,
That's
even when you
crazy.
run away to kick him out, he's still finding a way to make a play. Like, it's
Yeah. And it just messes you up. Like when you have that one guy on the defensive side,
yeah,
like Micah Parsons or Ed Reed was that for Belichick for
yeah.
a long time. So Belichick's gonna have to deal with that this week with Crosby. But
Good luck, dude. I would have a hard time scheming against him because in my head, Matt LaFleur had the right idea. You run away from him, you kick him out still. You still put a body on him. It wasn't good enough. Yeah.
mhm.
All right. Rams, Cards, 42's over under. LA 6.5-point favorite at home. Dude, I love the way Josh Dobbs is playing.
Mhm.
His defense let him down against my Bengals, which I'm thankful for. But I've loved the way he's been balling. James Conner goes out with a knee injury, and they had a couple of injuries throughout the game. But who's your pick here?
Rams.
Yeah.
Just Cup's back. That team's not dead. The Rams.
Yeah. I thought I was going to talk you into taking the Cards here. I thought I was going to bait you into it, but I didn't. I'm going to take Rams here too. Yeah. I'm not going to bet it. This is my sell game. I'm not buying it. I'm not betting on it.
Mhm.
I think it'll be good football, but give me the Rams to win as for this show. A team I think's dead. Team you don't think's dead. Jets hosting the Philadelphia Eagles over at 42. Philly 6.5-point favorite.
Now, see, I think Philly needs a wake up call. Like they're playing well, but they look like they still got that Super Bowl loss kind of hanging over them. Like they're still not not playing as sharp as maybe they're up to. I think they're gonna take a loss before they really pull it back together. This could be one of those games, but I don't. It's like I don't know. You know what? I'll call my shot just because I don't think the Jets are dead, and I think the Eagles need a little dose of reality before they can get clicking.
Damn.
Yeah, this is why it's not freaking college football. It's
Yeah.
like the Eagles can lose this game and then be back in the Super Bowl. Like that's how I feel about it.
Damn.
So
you're
just
taking New
fuck
York.
you,
You're taking the
college
Jets.
football. Like I hate. Like I don't know what we're watching. You know, I love the grind of a season, and every
Right.
season has a story. And
Refocus.
refocus. I'm taking the
Refocus.
Jets. That doesn't mean I think the Eagles are bad. I just think they need one. You know,
I understand.
I think the Jets are playing hungry, and I think the Eagles are playing a little lackadaisical.
I think the Eagles. Hold on, let me check. I do think the Eagles are due one. I do think they haven't been playing to the best of their ability. Now look,
Like I can just see I can see them on the sideline this week. Like Jets are up 10, and like the Eagles haven't produced any points, and it's just a lot of people like looking around, like, what are we doing? You know, like I don't know. You know, just like I can see the Jets defense just kind of flying all around.
yeah.
Jets score a defensive touchdown too, and that's the salt in the wound.
Ooh, okay. Now look, I'm looking at the Philadelphia Eagles schedule next week. They got the Dolphins, which that's
That's
tough.
gonna be a great game.
Yeah. Then
But that's
November.
one they play well. See, that's the
Yeah.
thing is they're gonna play. They might be looking ahead. See, that's the recipe. Is you look
All right.
ahead, like, oh, we got Dolphins.
Let me
know,
tell you.
whatever.
Let me tell you the stretch. So they got Dolphins next week, then the
Yep.
Commanders. Okay, but then they got the Cowboys November 5th. Then they got a bye week. Then the Chiefs. Then the Bills, and then the 49ers. This is a tough stretch for Philly.
Yeah.
But let me paint you a picture.
Yeah.
Both Philly, 49er, 11-0 going into that December matchup.
No way.
How fucking magical would that be? How
That'd be
great
crazy.
of football would that be?
No, they're gonna lose a couple
Yeah.
in there.
It's too much of a hallmark. I agree with you.
That'd be
But give me
crazy.
Philadelphia rolls here. Maybe next week I would go against them, but give me Philadelphia here.
But see, that's also a storybook for maybe the Niners. That's their first loss.
Yeah.
They lose to the Eagles again.
They
So it's like
regroup.
twice.
Yeah.
And then it's like one of those like rally cries, like, we got them. Like,
Yeah.
we're not losing to them again.
Right. It could be. I could see
I
that.
don't know.
Lions at Bucks. This got flexed from a 1:00 game to evening game, which I love. Shout out to Tim, your Lions. They finally got flexed in the prime time, dude. I love this.
They got
Over-under's at
flexed?
44. They got flexed.
Who was originally the game? I'm curious.
I'd have to, I think it was
know?
Giants and Buffalo. So
Oh, thank goodness.
yeah, right.
Why was that ever in the schedule?
Yeah. Detroit 3-point favorite here. I'm taking Detroit.
Man. This is tough.
I'm not
Mike
betting
Evans
on
is
it.
hurt.
Yeah.
Mike Evans is hurt. That's key. Man, I love this Tampa defense though. And Baker.
It's good.
Baker's playing well. Oh, it's
a Baker we
exciting.
thought.
But Detroit's my half team. That
Mhm.
is like I got 4 dogs, 4 front runners, and a half. That
Get a little chihuahua.
if anybody can spoil one of those 4, or I would say one of those top 2 in the NFC, I do think it could be Detroit this year. Particularly Detroit over Philly. I think they could spoil Philly if they play. I'll take Detroit. I think they keep it rolling. But it's a fun matchup.
Yeah. Give me Detroit. Give me Motor City. I'm not touching it. I'm not betting on it because you just never know. But give me Detroit. All right. Giants, Bills, over at 45. Buffalo, 14-point favorite. This is actually the biggest spread of the weekend. I forgot about this one.
Yeah, Buffalo. I'm taking Buff.
Yeah. I think give me Buffalo.
Yeah.
Give me, there's enough said. We're moving on. Monday night matchup. Chargers, Cowboys. LA's playing the home site here. 51's over under. LA, 2.5-point favorite.
Chargers were my sneaky pick. I thought they'd be like what the Lions are in the NFC. I thought they'd be like a half team that could spoil. They just haven't shown it. And Dallas is coming back after that embarrassing game. I think Dallas. I think Dallas actually takes this one.
Really?
But I really think the Chargers, I believe they'll turn it around at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know when though.
To me, the heart and soul of that team is not there right now. It's Micah Parsons. He's out for a little bit. You got Diggs out. Give me LA to win.
That's actually a good pick. That's a good pick.
Give me LA to
Yeah.
win. Yeah, this week's gonna be telltale. I feel like we took like the no-brainers together, but then everywhere else, I feel like we went different. So we're gonna figure out who's the real Mel Kiper of the group. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna figure out the real analyst.
Does Mel even watch regular season?
Yeah, probably not. He's still on Brady Quinn. Like, damn it, Brady Quinn.
Todd.
Oh my gosh.
I told you CJ Stroud was going to be the best quarterback.
No, he's probably Will Levis. He's like, yeah, Will best
Levis.
quarterback. Yeah, Levis.
Oh my gosh.
I hate it. Hey, shout out Barry Melrose, hockey analyst, former player, coach, retiring from ESPN. He has Parkinson's disease, so P's and T's to him, man. I hate to hear it. He's been awesome to watch. Hockey is officially back tonight, and that news breaks tonight. So,
yeah,
Barry, hats off to you, brother.
Yeah,
good luck. That's a tough disease. It's tough. Barry's a tough guy. All right. Pub parlay. Let's make some money.
Sure.
Yep. I hit it and then miss hit it.
Money in the bank. Shout out what you drink. I got money in the bank. Shout out what you drink. I got money in the bank.
So anything you want, whatever you want, let's take it.
My Twins lost today. That was
Heartbreaking.
Mm.
Heartbreaking.
9-1. My kickball team lost 8-1. Twins lost 9-1. It's just like
Ooh.
I am feeling a baseball pick for some reason.
Okay.
But it's kind of early. We don't know which games are going to be Friday, so
Hey,
can't
you
do
can.
it.
Yeah. Try to make it a
think
Friday
it's
because I'm gonna
too
get this
hard.
episode out by Friday.
Yeah, I think it's too hard. Let's see. Is the NBA back?
NBA does come back, I believe.
Oh, let's go. Okay.
Oh no, they're already back. NBA is already back. They came back 2
Yeah.
nights ago. Yeah.
Yep. All right, hold on. I gotta look at the schedule. Oh, this is preseason though. Fuck that.
Is it?
Yeah, Tuesdays when the regular season starts.
Okay.
Okay. Scratch that. Sorry, I didn't do my research here. What about college football?
The thing.
No, boycott. I'm boycotting. Nope. Can't do it.
Boycott TC.
Boycott school. Okay. Damn it.
You can have 2 here if you want.
You can give me 2?
If you want. All right, I'll go while you research.
You go.
San Francisco, Cleveland, over 37.5. I think it's a no-brainer.
Okay.
I think the over hits there.
See, I think that could be a struggle, but
I
I believe in you.
believe in the film I've been watching,
Hmm.
which is just NFL TV.
Let me give you one. Let's pick the Raiders.
Raiders. I love
Let's
it.
pick the Raiders over
Raiders
the
money line.
Patriots.
Yeah.
The
I
Mighty
like it.
Ducks game.
Quack. My second one, Texans over the Saints.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. Okay. Now, if you
And
got a second one, feel
then-
free. You don't have to. It's up to you.
I want to do NFL. Let's stick with it. You know what? I like your Chargers pick, but they weren't the favorites. I mean, they were
Yeah.
they were the favorites. So that's
Right.
where I don't want to do that one. Minnesota.
No,
They're-
Dallas
they're
was the favorite.
underdog.
Sorry. Dallas is a 2-point favorite.
Dallas is the favorite?
Yeah.
No. Let me see. You're right.
Yeah.
Let's go
Dallas
Chargers.
Chargers.
Charge up.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good one.
Dude, I think this would be a hefty
I
parlay.
like that one.
Yeah.
I like that.
Take
The only
taking
thing is,
dogs.
you sure about that over?
Dude,
Are you
just-
sure about those 5 minutes?
Yeah.
And
Dallas is supposed to have one
my
of the
cousin
defenses.
Vinny, how long does it take you to cook grits? Are you sure about that 10 minutes?
I'm sure about it. If I lose our parlay on that,
37. All right, let's think. 37 and a half.
if
Or
it
let's
gets
not
above
overthink
38
it.
and a half, you don't touch it. But I think
2017 doesn't hit, but 21 to 17 hits.
exactly.
Phew, it's gonna be close.
Dude,
It's gonna be close.
they made Dallas' defense look like a bitch. Cleveland's defense is worse than Dallas's, even without Michael Parsons, without Diggs.
So even if Cleveland only scores 3 points, the
I think
Niners-
San Fran, yeah,
Niners still need 35.
35. I think they do it.
Or if it's 10, they need 28.
And I think
Close. It's gonna be close.
Trust me. Trust the money. Trust it.
Okay.
All right. I've been hot this football season.
Okay.
Trust it.
Okay.
All right. Random question. You got one?
Man, I like the Halloween candy for our top 5.
Yeah. That could have been.
I'm trying to think. We've done a bunch of Halloween in the past.
Yeah, I think so. I got you.
Okay.
Top 3 fall activities for you.
Oh.
Top
Okay.
3.
Top 3.
Hmm.
I mean, pumpkin patch comes to mind, but that's not in my top 3.
Yeah, it does come to mind. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
You know, there are a lot of pumpkin patch photos on Insta. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
people snapping their shot.
Yeah.
I always think of Seth Rogen and Superbad. Great shout out about a pumpkin
Ooh.
patch. Says
Yeah.
never meet a girl in a bar. You got to go somewhere public, somewhere safe. Maybe a pumpkin
Maybe a
patch,
pumpkin patch. Yeah.
given the time of year.
I love that. I love it.
That's not on my list, but honorable
Yeah.
mention.
I'll go ahead. I'll go number 3, trick or treating. I didn't get to do it a whole lot as a kid, but it's on my list. Getting dressed up, all that good stuff. And I love having trick or treats at the house. I did the house all good. I just bought an 8-foot clown that moves and juggles, so I'm all for it. Number 2, haunted houses or corn mazes. I love a good jump scare. And then number 1, snuggling up on the couch. Give me a sweet treat. Give me a horror movie. Conjuring,
Mm,
Halloween, whatever it might
yeah,
be. That's my top
definitely
3.
took. Yeah, the movies, the October movies is always great.
Oh, it's great.
Um, so I'm gonna lock in just driving
Ooh,
and in like with the leaves and the colors of the
yeah,
leaves.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
finding a good drive to do.
That's the Asheville in you. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
That's my
I
honorable mention.
I
Yeah.
definitely love doing that. Even up here, the leaves have already changed, and they're probably gonna fall off the trees like next week because it's just getting cold.
Wow.
Like it's basically already winter up here. It's not. But it's getting there. We're getting there.
It's cold as balls. It's
Um,
getting there.
but I'd say a drive be my number one. Football pickup. Like
Oh,
I'd say like pick up football in the neighborhood
clutch.
when you've got that crisp October air. There's something about the fall. Like yeah, like
Mm-hmm.
you love like bringing football back at the beginning of the season. It's still summer, but like when it's the Friday night lights and ooh, it's just a
Yes.
little brisk out here. Ooh,
Yeah.
there's something about like
Damn, that's good.
football
Damn.
and fall, just
Let,
go together.
let me
They
throw
go
something at you
together.
real quick.
Yeah.
When you play in the neighborhood and you rake up all the leaves and you hit some diving end zone catches
Oh
into the
yeah.
leaves. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Love that.
Oh well, I used to play in the yard by myself. You
Oh, you
know,
toss it to
like
yourself.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, I'd
And
play
you're
under
like,
the street lights.
fourth
And I remember when
quarter.
we had our leaf pile right by the road, and like my road was like the end zone, but I'd have to
Yeah.
reverse it to go in the grass. But like you
Yeah.
do the Cam Newton like jump over the pile. Although Cam
Yes.
Newton wasn't the guy when I played. It was
No.
probably more like
Probably Mike Vick.
Dante Culpepper. Yeah, I don't
Culpepper.
know.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, you jump over the pile.
Dude, something about playing by
Uh,
yourself that brings back some like even tossing the ball to yourself and like you like do the scenario and if like you mess
yeah,
up like you drop the pass you're
yeah,
like there's a
yeah,
flag on the play we got holding defensive and like you redo it.
yeah,
Oh yeah. All right, sorry.
yeah.
Go ahead.
That was my guilty pleasure. I did that for
Yeah,
way too long.
I did too.
That
I did
was
too.
I love that. Um, used to do interviews in the shower too.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
My college roommates. Shout out David McAdams. He messaged me recently about that. He still remembers the. So I used to do shower interviews after the game. I'd be like, "Yo, how did we play? You know, we did okay."
The decision. I never want to hear about David
The
again.
decision. Oh man. I gotta steal yours. Movies.
Yeah.
I usually make like an October movie list. I've been watching a few of them.
Yeah.
Just kind of the thrillers or like any of those. There's a
Get the
few of
heart
them are
going a
like
little bit.
murder mystery. I think I started with Clue.
Oh.
Not really a murder mystery, a comedy, but
Yeah.
you know, a comedy whodunit movie.
It's a good one.
So light. It's kind of started light. Actually watched Minority Report. One of my favorite Steven Spielberg films. Kind of a I don't even know how you classify it. A crime thriller. Um, man, that's my sleeper pick. If you have the Movie Hub channel, it's on there for free right now. So they're running it, but that's like one of my favorite sleeper movies. Like people don't even know about it.
Yeah, I like that.
So yeah, I've got a list that I'm going through, debating how long. Do I want to do Harry Potter again or
Yeah.
Hunger
Harry Potter's a
Games?
weird
I
one.
thought about just diving into Hunger Games again.
Yeah.
Just trying to figure out my October movies. Eventually, once you get closer to Halloween, you cap it off with like Young Frankenstein or like those actual like real like Halloween type movies.
The fact that you said Young Frankenstein, I love that.
Young Frankenstein's in my top tier. That's a perfect
Fitz.
movie.
That's a Fitz answer.
It's a perfect movie.
I love it.
And it's the best October movie.
Let me give you some. As someone, this is my favorite season. This is my favorite month. Let me give you some rules for Spooktober. You
Okay.
obviously rule 1. You're for October as Spooktober. You can really get into it.
Okay.
2. Every single day you got to watch something Halloween themed. It doesn't have to be a spook. It could be Charlie Brown and the Pumpkin Patch. It could be something fall. Could be Hocus Pocus, right? Or it could be something scary. It's up to you. Number 3 is you're going to every weekend you're going to do something spooky. Haunted house, haunted maze, go to a spooky spot, whatever it might be.
Spooky spot.
That's the 3 rules. Now look, I didn't make these rules. These are busting with the boys. Shout out to the boys. But no, I'm here for it. This is what I've been doing my entire life. Like when it comes to October 1st to the 31st, I'm like 31 nights of Scarefest. Like I'm all in AMC or ABC Family, whatever it is. Like I've been all in on it. So that's for you to get in the spirit. That's my suggestion for Spooktober. I think follow those rules for this month and you'll see how your life changes. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Hey, this is a great show, Fitz. I've missed you last week. I'm glad to have you back. Next week it'll be you, me, and Devontae, and maybe Devin, wherever he is. Miss you, beautiful soul.
Yeah.
But yeah, great episode, man. And we'll catch you guys next week.
Yep. See you guys. Keep being spooky.
Look at the guy. I like that. I'll take that. Spook up, baby.
Oh my gosh. We would be the bad boys of Little League. I'm telling you now. We would beat the tar out of the other team.
I'm just going to go out and say it. Joey Chestnut has to be on the pub.
Has to be.
More. I mean,
Has to be.
Dramatic, man. That was a journey.
Apps losing 17-10.